All right, so in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 3 weird but effective strategies to stand out in a competitive market. Now, I know for many of you guys, you're in a competitive market, whether you're brand new to real estate, whether you've been in the game for about a year, 2 or 3, or whether you've been here for quite some time and there's just new agents entering the market daily. Now you have people who are jumping on TikTok, jumping on YouTube, doing a lot of cold calls, doing flyers. Like everyone is just pushing in multiple different directions, which is amazing. I love that. I really love that for the industry so that we can actually see that it's not just a one size fits all strategy. Depending on what you like, you can succeed at it. Okay. 3 weird but effective strategies to help you stand out. Now, why am I saying this? Because I want you guys to stand out, man. I want you guys to be different. Now, when it comes to these strategies, the reason why I call them weird is because many people might not understand the purpose of this, but once I really explain it to you and once you start to see the value, you're actually going to see how powerful this is. And if anything, this will be your greatest advantage because I can guarantee you, I'm even happy to put some money on this, that there's not many agents who are using these strategies. And that's why they're weird, because not many agents think like I do. You know, I'm a little bit of a contrarian. Anyways, so let's jump straight into it. So what I've done is how I've structured it is I'll let you know what it is, and then I'll quickly explain. I'll give you a quick example, and then we can cover the strategy just so that you can get an idea. All right. So let us jump into the first one, which is lumpy mail. So for those who don't know, and especially if you're young, if I say young, I mean maybe 25 and under. All right. What is lumpy mail? Now, for those who are quite mature, I'm pretty sure you remember these days. Now, lumpy mail basically is direct mail that looks lumpy, which evokes curiosity to get your leads to open up the package. So in a nutshell, most of us back in the day, right, we were used to getting mail. Okay. And then in the mail, 9 times out of 10, there's just like paper in it. You're used to it, right? In a sense, it was just normal for you to get mail from the mailbox. And of course, you already knew the type of envelopes that would be debt, the type of envelopes that would be promotions and stuff like that. But I'm not sure if this has happened to you guys in the past before, but there's certain mails that would feel heavy, that would feel like there's something in it. Now, what did that do? It now evoked curiosity because now you are like, I'm so used to just getting a typical mail in an envelope, but this envelope or this package seems heavy. It seems like there's something in it. So what did that do? It evoked curiosity to open the package. And that is the pure element behind lumpy mail. Lumpy mail is more focused on evoking curiosity to get your leads to open up the package. Now, the reason why I'm speaking about lumpy mail is because who still sends mails these days? Not many people. I don't even know when last we received mail. And that is all the more the reason why you want to do it. Because while everyone is targeting cold calls, while everyone is targeting, let's say, for example, social media, right, posting and stuff, who's doing mails? Who's doing direct mailers? Nobody. And who has the addresses? You do. Right? So can you see how powerful this is? Because now you can start sending out lumpy mails, okay, to get your leads to open up the package, see you as different, and then that's how you build a relationship. So how do you then do this? It's very simple, guys. Here's an example. So this is an example of a guy called Alex, and basically what he did is that he got a padded envelope, all right, and an ornament and a business card. So now there's the padded envelope. Of course, we've got the business card in there. Then, of course, it's got the information. In fact, if it were up to me, guys, I would not even add any branding on the mail. I would literally keep it like this. Like you see the padded envelope with the sticker. I forgot what this was even called. I would keep all this inside. Why? Because I want them to be like, interesting, what is in here? Because then it adds more curiosity. But this is just an example of what a lumpy mail would look like. Okay. Now, if you take a look here, the strategy is you want to buy padded envelopes. Guys, you can go and take a lot and buy padded envelopes. They're not that expensive. Okay, so buy padded envelopes. That's a padded envelope. And then here's the strategy. You get some USBs. Now, you don't have to, but this is the best way to, if you really want to stand out, here's an easy way, right? Buy some USB flash drives, okay? And then I want you to create a 1-page overview of what you do and provide free resources in the USB for them to access. So here's an example, right? Let's say you go on P24 and you can see all the homes that have been on the market for, let's say, more than 3 months. Okay. Now you're going to compile a database and a list of all those homes that haven't been sold in the past 3 months, get access to their street address. You obviously know who the owner is, and then go and buy the padded envelope. And then I want you to then get a USB flash drive. And then in there, all you're going to do is you're going to provide resources, whether it's an ebook in that USB, whether it's a video of you compiling a mini strategy, which I'll tell you about right now. Okay, but then be creative. Find ways to solve their problem or to give them answers to or solutions to their problem through that USB. When you do that, that is ultimately you being what? You're being different. You're standing out compared to everyone else. Okay? Because while everyone else is calling them, trying to get stock, you're doing something completely different. And I can tell you right now, they're going to talk about you to their wife, to their friends, about how different you were. And that is what's ultimately going to help you stand out and you being the best compared to everyone else. Now, what would you put into this one-page overview? Basically, it's just a simple, hey, Mr. Seller, I noticed that your house has been in the market for more than 3 months. And I think I understand why this could be the case. So what I've done is I've provided a free guide and some guidelines and also a mini video walking you through a step-by-step strategy to help you sell your home a lot faster, quicker, and sooner. Now, of course, that strategy is going to lead towards you selling it and getting a sole mandate, and why it's important for them to literally, let's say, for example, price correctly and make sure they're with one agent. But you're not going to say that you want to work with me directly. Just provide the solution. And I will tell you right now, they will naturally gravitate towards you because you provided that solution. Guys, I can tell you right now, you want to get more stock? Oh, this right here is the best way to go around it. I kid you not. Because number one, when last did people get mails? Not many people get mails. And when last did someone get something in a mail that has a padded envelope? Not many people. So direct padded mails or lumpy mail is the best way for you to stand out, hands down. Okay, awesome. Now, what's the next one? The next one are Loom videos, not Loom, the tool, all right, for real estate. No, Loom videos. So for those who don't know, I'm actually recording this on Loom. Okay, now the purpose around Loom is you can actually record your screen while you're engaging. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm shooting a Loom video. And then what I typically do after I'm done shooting a Loom is I would then download the video and then upload it on YouTube. But this is all on Loom. Okay, so why is this so important? Okay, it's because now you can listen quickly and faster by clicking a link for them to access. So what do I mean by that? What does that look like? So you could literally create a video on, let's say, market trends. And let's say you record that video for 5 minutes. Okay, you can also include your face on it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, okay, because I'm actually recording now. But what you can do is that you can also have your face on it. And then you speak, let's say, for example, you pull up a market report and then you record it, for example. Let's say the video is like 3 to 5 minutes long. And then what would happen is that there will be a link that you can send. I think I need to show you guys what this looks like. Okay, let me go to my Loom account. Okay, this is an example. You see? Boom. That's what it looks like. Okay, I need to sort that out. Well, now you guys can see I got a payment issue with Loom. Anyways, but look at this, okay? There's a video, all right? And you can see this is one of the videos that I did. Now, I shoot a lot of Looms. Let me show you. That's all I do. I just shoot Looms all day. It's not that bad, actually. It's quite affordable. So now look, all of my meetings are recorded on Loom. You see, this was for my clients that I was doing over here. And then I was walking my client through how to get started with their Facebook strategy. And then all you just basically do is that you see if, okay, let's say, for example, I clicked on this. This is what I did for a client. So I recorded my screen. As you see, there's my face. And then what it does is that it provides a summary. And then take a look. It's got chapters. And then if I click here, it's going to move forward to what I was speaking about in there. Because it's actually paying attention. And it can also create a transcript. So here's the transcript. For example, there's everything in there, okay? And then I can edit this if I want. I can remove any silences or fill P, so you can walk me through like step by step what needs to be done. This is amazing, okay? And then I can obviously just create a reaction, and then it's very simple. If I want my client to see this, I will just come here, click on that copy link, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So let's say, for example, I send it to him on WhatsApp. I'll be able to just send him as a link, and then he can click on it, and then it's all good. We're good to go. That is the power behind it. And then you can also download it. So if I click here, download video, I can download it, and then I can either upload it on YouTube and all that good stuff. So for example, yesterday, just to show you guys, where's that video I did yesterday? That 38-minute video. There we go. So here's the gameplay. Okay, it even shows everything broken down. I wish YouTube did this on autopilot. And then all I just did is I came here. I mean, you see where my mind is. I just downloaded the video and then it was done. And then I could upload it on YouTube. It's as simple as that. I could also add stylized captions. You see, there we go. And then there's the stylized caption. Guys, looms are powerful. Now, going back to what I was saying, is that now what you can do is that you could literally pull up a market report, put on a video, right? Record it. And then what you can just essentially do is you can then send it to your leads. This could be an easy follow-up message. So let's say, for example, you spoke to some sellers and they said, look, they're looking to sell within the next couple of months. Then send them a Loom video of a market update. That is a nice, amazing, indirect way to follow up, to be like, hey, I know we spoke last month. I just wanted to send you a market update video. It's just about 2 minutes long. I hope this helps. And then they see your face. Boom. They see your face. You could be like, hi, James. I trust you well. I hope the kids are doing great. I saw your status last night. It looks like you guys were attending your son's water polo event. I hope everything went well. Anyways, I just wanted to record this quick market trend update video for you. I know you mentioned you're only looking to sell within the next couple of weeks, but I just wanted to help you so you can get prepared. And then, hey, if you have any questions, let's maybe have a chat after you're done watching this video. So this is what's going on right now in the market. Boom, 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 boom. Make it 3 to 5 minutes and you're done. You send that link to them via WhatsApp. I would even say WhatsApp is the best way because now it's direct, and the fact that you made it specifically for them makes them feel special. There's multiple ways you can go around using Loom. I'm not going to cover that right now, but this, guys, has been hands down one of the best tools that has helped me close business, and it can help you close business. But again, remember, not every agent understands this because they don't utilize technology. And that's why I said, guys, these are 3 weird but effective strategies for you to stand out in a competitive market. And then lastly, we've got ebooks. Now, some of you guys are familiar with ebooks, but the problem is you guys are not doing it. So we don't have a knowledge issue. We just have an implementation issue and an application issue. So the whole purpose of having ebooks is that now you have digital booklets to help educate sellers on the process behind selling a house. This could be for buyers. This could be for auctions. This could be for anything, guys. But the whole purpose of these digital booklets is to educate them, is to add value, is to help you stand out so that they see you as someone who is an authority. Because think about it. Authors are people who are viewed as experts. Look at Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki would not be Robert Kiyosaki if it wasn't for his Rich Dad Poor Dad book. Okay, he was an instant authority once the book was successful. Okay, so we have now been programmed to believe that if you're an author, you are someone who is an authority. Okay, that's just how we've been programmed. So why not use that to your advantage? If they're so used to understanding that authors are typically experts, then you want to make sure that your ebook is structured and built to look like this was you actually launching an ebook, or you are an author. Because not many agents are authors. And that is the power behind it. You're a self-published author, but still it carries a lot of weight. Would you go to a doctor who's unknown, who's not on social media, who's not really known at all? Or would you go work with a doctor that has books, right? That has books, that has social media presence. Okay, of course you're going to work with a doctor that has books and social media presence because they look like they look more like an authority. They have the expertise. Guys, it's that simple. Okay, so that is the whole purpose of the digital booklet. Now, you don't want to make this digital booklet a place where you're just regurgitating information. It needs to be structured. The same way when you're reading a book on how to make millions, the guy's not just talking, and an effective book is not just a book that's talking about the author, but it's talking about how to make those millions. You're not going to buy a book on how to make millions for you to read about an author who brags about his millions. You want to read a book that's going to teach you exactly how to make those millions. For example, forgot the guy's I think his name is James, but I forgot his last name. But the author of Atomic Habits. The reason why Atomic Habits has sold millions and millions of copies is because he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about experiences that he's noticed and that he's seen from other people who have built habits that have essentially helped them become successful. And he gives you practical exercises. So that's the whole purpose of ebooks. How can you solve this person's pain in a step-by-step process? All right. And basically, here's one: the DIY guide to selling your home. 101 tips. 101 tips you need to know. That is powerful. What I would have actually done here is add your name here as an author. And then in there, that's where you can have more information. But guys, digital booklets are the way to go, especially if you want to stand out. Trust me when I say that, okay? Because I can guarantee you there's not many agents. In fact, you would be the only agent who's got access to your own digital booklets. Now imagine you've got a DIY guide to selling your home, DIY guide to buying a house, DIY guide to investing into rentals, DIY guide to find the right, let's say, for example, tenants for your rentals, DIY guide for you to manage your property. Like, can you see? Now you've got all these different books. And when people go on your social media, they can go and consume these books. And when they consume these books, they're viewing you as an author, as an authority, because you're an author. So the whole strategy here is you want to create digital booklets for all the main problem sellers and buyers and everyone in your market experience, and then send the booklets via email or WhatsApp or social media. You can literally distribute them anywhere. My advice is look at the core problem that you're experiencing right now. So if you're not getting stock because all the sellers are doing open mandates, do a booklet on why open mandates are a terrible idea and how to sell their house as soon as possible, for example. All right. Or create a book on why their house isn't selling. And then let's say one of the reasons could be open mandates, and why open mandates is a myth, why open mandates is a terrible idea. And this is exactly what you need to do. I can guarantee you right now that there will be people who will be like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, they're right. Awesome. Perfect. How can I work with this person? It is that simple, guys. Anyways, wanted to make this nice, short, and sweet. Now, again, as I mentioned, guys, we do not have a knowledge issue. We have an application issue. We have an implementation issue. If you're just going to consume this knowledge and understand it conceptually and be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, Wandile, aha, you've really given me some context and I now get this, but you're not going to take action, then you are better off not watching this video at all. You are better off than the agent who doesn't know this information. Because what do you and that agent who has no access to this information have in common? You guys are not taking action. Now, the other agent, I'll give him the leeway because he's ignorant and he only knows what he knows. But you, on the other hand, you have the information and you're not taking action. And that, my friend, is more painful than the agent who's ignorant and doesn't know any information. So, you know, they always say ignorance is bliss. But once you've been exposed, that is the most painful thing ever, because now you know your potential. Now you know what could help you stand out. But if you're not doing it, that's all on you. Anyways, guys, I hope that makes a lot of sense. Not I hope, I know it definitely made a lot of sense. And if you guys want to see some more strategies, let me know. If you guys want a free one-on-one game plan session with me or my team, comment on this YouTube video, and then, yeah, we can definitely chat. But I will put my WhatsApp number in the comment section. Take care, guys.